So we cut into this thing and look at that. Morning everyone, I am Zachy Smokes, just a guy who loves barbecue. Today we are going to be making a Texas style chuck roast, otherwise known as a poor man's brisket. For today's cook, we're going to be using probably my favorite grill. We're using a big green egg. Now this is just a small big green egg. We're using about a 2.5 pound chuck roast today, so it's not that big. You'll see on the inside, just using some big green egg lump charcoal, and then some Smoky Woods post oak chunks in there. This should last us the whole cook. It shouldn't be that long of a cook. If we need to, we can go ahead and add a little bit more later. Alright, as you could probably see, we got the fire going. Just use a simple igniter, really simple, easy tool. We are going to try and shoot for around 250 today. Alright, and here is the star of today's show. Like I said, it's just a 2.5 pound chuck roast. I dry brined it overnight, just salt and pepper. We're going to use this Meter Pro. Alright, as you can see now, we have some nice clean smoke. Zoom in here. We're looking, come on, focus. We're looking a little bit under 250. It's been holding steady here for a couple minutes now. I'm going to pop open the bottom vents a little bit, but it's holding good here. We're going to put it on. Alright, we have our meat on the grill. One thing to call out, we have the config in, which is basically just the heat deflector. The heat comes up the sides, so when you put it in, you want to make sure your meat is not over those edges where the smoke comes up. So I smushed it together just a little bit. Should be totally good. And we are now good to start cooking. Alright, we're on. We got the temperature dialed in. It's really nice, basically right at 250. We're going to let this go to about 160 to 170 range, and we'll pull it for the next step. Alright, we have been on for about 2.5 hours now. It's going pretty good. I actually let it go to 175 instead of 165 because I wasn't happy with the bark, but it's looking pretty good now. So we're going to pull it off and we'll wrap it next. Alright, now it's time to wrap. I did something really simple with the butcher paper. Just put a little apple cider vinegar on the bottom. The goal there is to make it not stick, not necessarily, we don't want apple cider vinegar flavor. And then you could usually do like beef tallow. I didn't have any beef tallow, so I just threw some butter. So we'll wrap this up and get it back on the pit. Alright, we got the meat all wrapped up, back on the pit. We're going for about 200. We'll check it then. Alright, meter is telling us that we are at 198. Let's go ahead. For this, what we want to do is check for probe tender more than a temperature. So I'm going around this extra paper. I can see the meat right there. Going. Oh yeah, that's what we're talking about. Alright, we're good to pull this. Alright, we got the meat off the pit. It's looking good. I checked the temperatures again. Thickest part, we're at like 201, so it's really perfect. What we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to put it in this cooler. This cooler is normally meant for like drinks, like tailgates and stuff, but it's actually a perfect size for these smaller cuts of meat. So it's going to go in here, and then it's going to rest for 3 to 4 hours, and then we'll cut into it. Alright, we got it out of the cooler. We rested for about 3.5 hours. Bark looks really good. We're going to cut into it. Just one thing to keep in mind, you want to cut against the grain. So on this thing you can see the grains like this way, so we're going to cut it this way. Alright, so we cut into this thing and look at that. Really, really good. Let's give it a taste. Awesome. Thanks so much. Hope you enjoyed it.